What's up, man? Just working on ultimate mode. I'm not missing that many discs. I need to go back and get that one at the bottom. It's mostly just, there's only a couple elves left that I'm missing, and then it's just a bunch of the lore dump ones. I have most of the, like, actual stuff. Yeah, I'm missing one chip, I don't know where it is. I'll have to look up a guide. I haven't done this since, like, 2005, so I'm kind of just doing the ones I remember. I'm gonna have to just start doing cleanup soon. So there's one I missed in the Haunted Machines level that I didn't get. I think that's all the ones there. There we go. I think I got everything here, actually. See if that even counted. I don't remember if exiting counts or not. Oh yeah, it just got Haunted Machine, so it does count. Probably don't have this disc. Need to get better at charge wiggling. I'm not good at that yet. Charge wiggling, I think you can do on that boss. Like that. The hitbox actually, it counts. But only on bosses that don't have invincibility frames. Yeah, I think I got everything here. Oh, never mind. It's missing one from a Pantheon, apparently. Pretty sure that's just a generic Pantheon, but whatever. No, I haven't tried it yet. I'm not really interested in it. The combat looks alright, but I don't know. I'm sick of playing action games at 30 FPS. I'm like really tired of it. Maybe when it's on PC. Plus, it's coming out like in like the last year of the PS4's like AAA lifespan. At least in terms of exclusive stuff. It just doesn't seem like something's worth investing in. They haven't said anything about like how the other versions will work either. Kind of like glossing over it. It's PS4 exclusive for a year apparently. They really want those Christmas sales, I guess. Try to move as many PS4 units as they can before the 5 comes out. Get rid of all the old ones. There's probably some down here I missed. Probably these big, like, Mega Pantheons. Aha! Ah, this is annoying. Problem with this playthrough is I've used so many of the fusion elves that my rank is all like messed up. Meaning that I can't get the extra EX skills that I'm missing. I'm still missing 4. I'm not going to be able to get them this playthrough because it remembers which ones you use when you play New Game Plus. Which I think is kind of dumb. You get like, penalized for using it. Okay, so I got one of the last lore ones. Let's see if there's a guide for this. I actually had the official strategy guide for this back when I was in high school. I don't have it anymore, so I'm looking to see if they have it here. I can't really do the casual speedrun until I find them all. Because at the end of the game, I think you get locked out, so you really need to find them sooner than later. This is definitely the best Mega Man game, in my opinion, by a really large margin. But there are some things about it that are frustrating. It's cool they have this mechanic in the game, so it's not just running to the end. You can definitely play the game that way if you want. I don't think there's any on Copy X's level. I'm pretty sure there aren't. Okay, so this one is on Foxtar. This one is on... Let's see what's here on Copy X. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to get everything this run, most likely. 110 is on Copy X. I have that one. 121 I'm missing. It's a box one. 62 I have. 34. 42. 70. Okay, so I need to not jump over the big-ass cannons. I think I have everything else. Got too greedy. Spikes in this game definitely have the hitbox is actually very realistic. You can't like go on the sides of them and not get hit. Probably could have cleared that if I was a little quicker. Trying to go too fast. I don't have the muscle memory anymore. It's been like 15 years. I haven't played this since like junior year of high school. Fuck, man. I'm gonna have to go on the other side. I think I need to kill a bunch of these too. I think that's the one of the discs I'm missing. There we go. Got this one over here, pretty sure. Okay, Foxtar. It's at the spike room. I didn't grab that the first time. Track here's good too. Someone up there. I hope I get a review key for that. I was a beta tester on their last game. I hope so, but I haven't heard from them pretty much since they announced it. I'm sure if I ask, they'll put a good word in, but they're obviously really busy finishing the game. I just like how it has, like, no defensive options, though. I like when games make it so that defending is as fun as attacking, if not more. I don't like when games are like just one-sided, like it feels good to attack, but defending feels weak. You can't like defend yourself at all in that game apparently, it's just attacking. Like no cancels. This room sucks. There we go. Doing that twice, huh? Nice punish. You can tell I've beaten this game dozens of times. I may not have the muscle memory anymore, but I can still remember everything. Alright, I'm gonna do Voltel Biblio last and try to get everything else. Because after this, I think you get locked out. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it today. I'm still missing a lot of them. Also, this track is really good. Probably don't have the one from these guys. Got one down here. That game is like the new Duke Nukem Forever. I get that game development is hard, and you can't always give like a concrete release date because anything can happen in development. You can have problems like implementing a feature, or there's like a problem with the engine or something. I get that, but like you should show some gameplay. It doesn't have to be like a super advanced trailer. Like just show that the game still exists. That's kind of my problem with that game. They're not doing a good job of like showing their progress at all. They've shown like it's been like 3 minutes of gameplay in like how many years now? I'm not telling them to like rush the game or anything, but they should have shown something by now. Actually, I think there might be one up there if I use Recoil Rod. Nope. Could have sworn I remember there being one up there. Yeah, Bayonetta 3 is vaporware too. They keep saying development is going smoothly. It's like I'd be more inclined to believe that if there had been like a single second of gameplay in 2.5 years. Like if you can't show gameplay by that point, that doesn't instill the most confidence in most people. I feel like they feel like they need to show like this really advanced trailer. It's like you just showed her like fighting an enemy or something. I think that would give people a lot of morale again. The morale in that community is down in the dumps right now because it's been so long with no information. Even the trailer didn't have any gameplay. I don't know like how far along they were in development. It feels like they announced that game when it was like a design document or something. Which is generally not the way to do things these days. And people get more interested when they can actually see what it is they're buying. Once you get past the hype of the game existing, there's just a desire to know more and like, what the hell am I supposed to be going to the store and pre-ordering? I think I got everything here. I'm just gonna have to clear this level and then do cleanup. Because after this point, I'm gonna start to get locked out because it goes into the Wily levels. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Platinum went to them and said, look, this game's gonna run like garbage on the Wii, on the Switch. Like, maybe they're making it like a launch title for the Switch Pro. I mean, Astral Chain runs pretty bad. It's like barely 30 FPS. There's definitely one of the many things about that game I didn't like. That game has a multitude of other problems, but the frame rate was definitely one everyone can agree on. Games like that just don't work well at that frame rate. Nani? Like how Calvarian's level is basically just the obligatory beat 'em up level. It's just an elevator. It's actually quite difficult if you don't use the recoil rod because the big armored green guys, it's really hard to kill them otherwise. I imagine a lot of people that are playing this for the first time last week probably lost a lot of lives there because generally you want the Buster. You want the Buster for your sub weapon so that you can maintain your momentum, but in that part, the recoil rod is the best option. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to finish this tonight, unfortunately. I don't think so. I'm missing a lot of just the bestiary ones. And obviously when you're going fast, you have to kill them a certain amount of times, and if you don't, then it takes a while. But after this is Biblio's level, which is one of the worst levels in any Mega Man game, in my opinion. It's definitely the biggest blemish on an otherwise great game. It's the damn Voltio Biblio's Sunken Library level. It's such a piece of shit level. Really kills the pacing at the end when you have to find the right doors, and it can be really hard to remember which ones they are. I know that in the speed run they like do a series of actions outside the door, and apparently that manipulates the RNG so that they're always in the same area. So that's how they speed run this game, is they because that part is basically a real ass to get through otherwise. Alright, I'll do the rest of this off camera. That was about as far as I can go. The rest is just going to be pretty boring going through again. I don't know what they were thinking when they put Voltio Biblio's level in the game. Like, let's make this fast-paced, this beautiful 2D pixel art action game where the only limit to how fast you can go is how well you control the character. And then at the end of the game, like right before the end, let's just put in a dumb door maze where you have to find the specific door that it wants, and you have to do it 4 times. It's really stupid. Good track here. Can't jump. What? I think the only part of Mega Man 03 that I don't like is the library. A lot of people say that's the weakest part of that game. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. It's supposed to be like a mostly a narrative based level to give you a bunch of info dump stuff, but it just feels like they could have done that in like a skippable cutscene and just have it be a regular run to the end level. It's definitely the worst part of replaying the game by far, especially since your rank gets docked every time you go in the wrong door. So if you're trying to get the EX from there, you basically have to know exactly where they are. I haven't seen anybody speedrun on this version of the game. I don't know if the RNG manipulation still works because in the speed run, I don't know the exact like actions they do, but they stand outside the door and they like slash and shoot at the wall, and somehow that manipulates the RNG to spawn the correct doors in the exact same positions every time. So in the speed run setting, at least on the Game Boy Advance, like the ROM or real hardware, it's not an issue. But when you're playing casually, it's really stupid. It is still the best Mega Man game, though, by far, in my opinion. Just it does a lot of things right. It's just unfortunately it has one really shitty level. Actually, curious. I want to go on the speedrun.com site and see if there's anybody who's actually tested it. I would gladly learn that just to skip that part of the game. Like how I search for Mega Man and it gives me like Mario 64. It's not what I'm looking for right now. I can't find the like the Zero series on here. What the hell? All right, I found the main page. I don't see anything for the collection. I know the input lag is like very minimal, so speedrunners will probably play it at some point, but it doesn't seem like anything has been done. I can't seem to find any information if that RNG manipulation still works. I guess I could try it myself. Maybe I can find it on here somewhere. Here's one from somebody who used to hold the world record, and he said, "Worst stage in the game, and I don't think I need to explain why." Yeah, amen. A blemish on an otherwise beautiful game. I want to see exactly how they manipulate the RNG. Oh, in this video they don't do the manipulation. I have to find something more recent. The distribution is determined by the time passed from the start of the stage to the arrival of the computer room. Ah, I can't find anything. I'm drawing a blank here. I'll have to ask the. I know some people that speed run 03. I'll have to ask them next time they're on. Probably in the morning. The guy who's been playing the collection a lot. He was the world record holder. He usually plays in the morning. He's from Sweden, so he's usually on in the morning my time. Suppose I can just ask him on Twitter. Pretty sloppy fight. I'm not really going for peak performance right now. I'm just playing casually. Like I said, the gun level ups don't work. So once you start playing on the harder difficulties, a lot of that stuff, a lot of the strats don't work anymore. Has it been confirmed that they are fixing it? No. There's people like getting their save files all messed up too, like random T poses and like not being able to progress and stuff. I feel like they put like everything into making the game run well and then reverse engineering it to make the new features work and like no time into like actually QA testing it. And like I mentioned last time I streamed the game, the glitch where the gun level ups don't work, they still function as if they're level 1. That glitch also happens on the mod too, the style switcher mod, the exact same glitch. So whatever is causing it on the style switcher is causing it in whatever code they're using. The only difference is that the developer of the style switcher, I'm sure he knows about it and it will be fixed at some point, but with the official port of the game, this with the style switcher, and it's anyone's guess they'll actually fix it. It is a shame. It could be the best version of the game, but there's a lot of things holding it back. The bugs, the radial wheel is kind of a monkey's paw wish kind of thing. Generally, most high level DMC players don't roll with all the weapons, even though there's mods to do that now. It's too hard to get to what you want right when you need it. With some practice, you can kind of get around it, but I mean, there's people like considering not picking up some of the optional weapons just to not have so much crap to switch through. I think that's kind of a good sign that it's not as good as it sounds on paper. Basically, it's something a lot of people wanted. They wanted to be able to switch between all the weapons, but I think Capcom misunderstood, and they made it so that you need to have all of them at once. The lack of a regular full custom is baffling. I don't know why they don't have that in there.
Dragon, marked for death.
It's cool playing this. This was made like 14 years after, 16 years after. Actually, when did Zero 3 come out? I think it came out in like 2004. Came out a long time after, and his game feels just as good to control. But I've been kind of holding off until the next update. Yeah, the next update's supposed to be in a few weeks, I think.
Yeah, Nalo.
I even have any stuff equipped. I haven't played this game in months. Nah, play later, I guess. It's definitely a fun game, but it definitely didn't launch in the best state. It's like Indie creates probably the roughest game they've ever put out. Luckily, it's a modern game, so they could patch it, but I blew through all the content really quickly, and then I just kind of got burnt out. The next patch is supposed to be pretty awesome. They're adding like 2 new characters. There's supposed to be some kind of equipment upgrading system. I don't think they've done anything to actually fix the garbage drop rates though, which is a major buzzkill, especially since the online community it's a Discord fighter type game. So it's highly unlikely you'll actually get a match with somebody. So it's completely dependent on begging someone in the Discord to get you to play. So that part of the game sucks. That's definitely a part of it I don't enjoy. I mean, the Discord they're really nice people, but it just sucks having to play on someone else's time. And it's not like a fighting game where you can do like training mode or something. It's much faster when you play with actual humans. I think I'm gonna go ahead and switch to PC now. I don't think there's anything else I really want to do on here. So I'll play a little Advent, I guess. I never beat ZX because I just did not like that game.
Well? Well?
Crawlathon! I remember when this came out, people beat the final boss with the Reploid form. The Mega Man ZX games are just plagued with gimmicks. It felt like they got told by Capcom to mix things up, and as we all know, changing a change isn't always good. ZX tries to go non-linear, but it has like one of the worst maps I've seen in any kind of Metroidvania style game. It's a real bitch to figure out where you want to go, and this game has a much better map. It's a lot easier to tell where you're going, but unfortunately the game is just ridden full of gimmicks. You can transform into all the bosses, and most of them are actually just total garbage in an actual fight. The only time you use them is to solve puzzles. So that whole part of the game just feels super gimmicky and pointless. I did beat this game when it came out, though. I liked it enough to beat it. I couldn't say the same for ZX. I actually put some work into this game to make the map like something a human being could actually read. There was supposed to be another one, but it never got released. There's like a giant unresolved cliffhanger at the end of this when you beat it on expert mode. And it was never resolved because they didn't stop making... Inti Creates didn't stop making Mega Man games for Capcom, but they stopped doing this style of game. They did Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10, which are good games in their own right, but I don't think they hold the candle to the Zero games. I remember being kind of frustrated that they went back to classic... I'm pretty tired of classic Mega Man, to be honest with you. Everything from like fan games to like official games, it's always classic focused, and classic games just aren't as interesting mechanically. They're still great games in their own right, but Mega Man 11 at least tried to change the formula. Yeah, the characters, I like the character designs in these games. It's just the gameplay and the things they changed. I feel like they should have just evolved from the Zero series instead of trying to do something different. I remember when ZX came out, a lot of people hated the stuff that they changed. I'm surprised these games even got preserved. A lot of people did not play these games because they weren't on console. And the first Mega Man Zero game is not that great.
A-Train!
It's the kind of stuff that makes this game kind of a drag to play. It's all the stuff that's just puzzles. I always forget where shit is in here. It's been so long since I played this. Yeah, Buckfire is like one of the few that he kind of feels like a character you would actually want to play, but the other ones you would never actually use them in a real fight. This game has the same problem that Beautiful Joe 2 had. They tried to expand the gameplay with like having puzzles and stuff and a whole extra character to control, but anybody who's played that game knows that Sylvia is basically useless. You only use her for puzzles. And she sucks in fighting. You still use Joe for everything. Portrait of Ruin had the same problem too. They tried to have the dual character system, and basically you never use Charlotte for an actual fight. It was basically just they were basically just glorified puzzle solvers. I think that game takes the cake though. It's not a bad game. I did beat it. I thought the story was kind of lame. It didn't really interest me at all. It definitely was a downgrade from Zero series. But you have to have tolerance for a lot of gimmicks, and having you have the conflict of having really great controls. The game still feels as good to control as the Zero games, but the game actively prevents you from going fast because of all the how many times you have to transform just to solve a puzzle. It's unfortunate they were not able to expand upon it. They just kind of left it. They left it dead. Massive cliffhanger that was hasn't been resolved. It's been like 14 years now. Actually, no, it's been 12 years. The game came out in 2008. interesting that all the stuff they put out since then that's been indie, it, like has like no gimmicks at all. Like there's actually a very heavy focus on speed running, so much that the gunvote games are like piss easy to finish. Like almost all the replay value is like just learning how to play the game better. But back when they were still making games for Capcom, a lot of their later output was really gimmick heavy, which kills a lot of the replay value for most people. It's not too bad when you play it once, like ZX and ZX have it once, but when you go back, you realize how much of it is not going fast with the good controls, which is just unfortunate. I would still recommend the collection though. Pretty much all the games on there are good. The quality is definitely not consistent. Like Mega Man 01 is a really rough game to play, and you have to have tolerance for non-linear stuff with the ZX games, but they all are worth playing. Whether you'll be able to uh, kind of adjust to the massive genre and gameplay shift is anyone's guess, though. Screen stuck at device not available. Hold on. I forgot to change scenes. There we go. Yeah, they got Bosch to voice him again. It only took 23 years for them to fix it. Actually, no, that's not true. Lucas Gilbertson, he was the voice actor for X in X8 and Maverick Hunter. He re-recorded the line on his fan unofficial account. That was a while ago. That was like 10 years ago or something. But in terms of it being fixed in an actual official Capcom product, yeah, that was the Teppen fixed it. I still think Lucas Gilbertson is the best Zero voice, the English Zero voice. I think Bosch is up there, but the problem is he's just using his standard voice he uses for all the hot-blooded anime characters. I liked his Lucas Gilbertson voice. He's always wanted to come back, but there just haven't been any games for him to come back to, and I guess they never call him. He's still active. He's still active voice actor. I don't think he gets like big jobs or anything, but I know that he would come back if he was given the opportunity. I think him and Mark Gotha, they were like the best Mega Man X voice actors. And Mark Gotha's long since retired. The guy they have now is all right, but it makes him sound too feminine again. He actually sounded better than the Japanese voice when Mark Gotha was voicing him. The voice they have for him now, the one that they have in Marvel Infinite, he sounds too much like a kid. Like, he sounds too close to the Japanese voice. The Japanese voice is done by a woman. It's kind of like Goku. Like people call the Japanese voice Grandma Goku. It's definitely an acquired taste. And some people swear by Sean Schemmel because, he's an actual makes him sound more mature. However, the voice actors they've had for Domon Kashu in English since Mark Gotha retired, they're all terrible imitations. None of them sound good. The one they had in the Gundam Muso games it was depressing to hear. The delivery he had and the voice that guy had, it just wasn't fitting at all. It made him sound like some kind of like brute or something. Made him sound like he was like a barbarian, like he wasn't like a distinguished, powerful martial artist. He sounded like he was like a barbarian or something. I remember when those games came out, I was really disappointed that they couldn't find anybody even close to Mark Gotha. They couldn't even find like a sound alike or something. It's been plenty of times in like modern media where they can't get the original person. They find someone who's close enough, but like that character in particular, they can't find anybody who can do it as well as Mark Gotha could. I'd argue the same for Mega Man X as well. The people they've had since then, it's not the same. It's not just nostalgia either. Like the voice in Marvel Infinite, he sounds like he's 8. He sounds like he's like a teenager going through puberty, which is kind of what I liked about the English voices they had for him past X4s. Made him sound more mature. No one playing Grid tonight? I don't feel like playing ranked. Bosch Zero is pretty good. It's just like I said, it's his stock hot-blooded anime protagonist voice. Like Bosch has a lot of range, but the people that hire him don't let him use his other voices. Contrary to popular belief, he can do more than one voice, but he's never given the opportunity to, because the producers just want him to do his Bosch voice, which isn't bad. He's definitely one of my favorite voice actors, but I felt like when Gilbertson was voicing Zero, he had more distinct personality. I thought it was cool that Tales of Symphonia 2, one of the best parts of that game is we got to see another voice that Bosch can do. They actually let him do his different voice. No one playing or what? There's like no lobbies or anything up right now. This game is like the opposite of Arc System Works fighting games. Arc System Works fighting games, ranked is always dead after a few months, and everybody just plays casual matches. In this game, everybody only plays ranked. I guess it's because the netcode actually works. I don't know. I get kind of thrown off sometimes, though. I want to play like a casual match, and I can't. There's no one playing. This is why I didn't want to play ranked. Nice reset. I want a rematch against this guy. I'm already done. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna steal some of that tech. Ooh, nice. GG. Good match. I do kind of wish more people would play casual, though. I don't really feel like playing ranked right now. I just wanted to play some chill matches, but there's no lobbies up. I guess because the netcode in this is not garbage, more people actually want to play ranked. Whereas in Arc Sys games, it's always ranked as a barren wasteland, and most people just play player matches. They don't like when stuff is on the line.
Back to act.
3, 2, 1, fight!
Nice! Wow, I dig that. No! Oh, I missed the link.
Alright, guys, go.
I am here.
Release the power.
I just like how they made the game slower. I don't like how everybody has more health. Like, that was a pretty sick combo. I'm not salty at all. It's just I don't like how the matches go longer. That's definitely something people don't like about this patch. They tried to prevent TODs, but they made the game a lot slower in the process, so I actually do get frustrated more playing this game than I used to. The matches used to be a lot shorter. So I don't really feel like playing ranked right now. I just want to play casual, and there's no one on. So it just makes me not want to play the game at all. It's not really the game's fault, though. That's just the way that the community works. I mean, most fighting games, like, people avoid ranked because the netcode is bad, and it just gets frustrating to have points and stuff on the line, and you're dealing with like horrible lag and stuff like that. But in that game, the netcode is actually really good and it's rollback and everything. So I guess just people don't play casual. But when I just want to have a relaxed scenario and not have to worry about ranking down, it's kind of a bummer. I can't just turn the game on and play it. There has to be somebody with a lobby up for me to just have a relaxed experience and not be stressed out. That's just a testament to how good the netcode is. Like, that's just a direct result of the netcode being good, is people are actually only in ranked. You know, something like Dragon Ball, where you have underwater matches very often. A lot of people just play player matches and lobbies and stuff because it's less stressful. I haven't labbed out the new stuff. I don't like how many times I've had like timeouts and stuff. They made zoning a lot more viable last patch. They never really talk about whatever they're working on. They kind of just shadow drop it on a Tuesday. So, I mean, the game has changed drastically so much. Who knows what they're going to do next? I feel like they're probably not going to do much more until the next season. They kind of just dropped a massive patch with no real content. They improved the functionality of the game a lot, but the game, like, there's no new characters or anything. Hopefully they'll find a balance, because the matches being longer is definitely kind of a buzzkill sometimes. I kind of like the way it was before. It was a lot like Marvel, where you could just get bodied really quickly. Now the matches get drawn out, so it can be more demoralizing when you lose. Like before, it was kind of like BB Tag. You could just get destroyed instantly, and it was hard to get pissed off. And now they've indirectly put a lot more player investment into the matches. It's kind of a difficult thing to fix, really. You have the people that don't want the TODs, they want the game to be slower, and you have the people that have been playing since the start that like the old speed and pacing of the game. Yeah, they could have gone for like a burst bait kind of thing, but they probably don't want it to turn into like Mortal Kombat where people burst all the time. I don't know. I still like playing the game, but the fact that they made the matches take longer is it's not as fun as it used to be. Kind of fighting games I can put a lot of time into are the ones where the matches are not so long. Nothing's off the table with that game, though. They've made drastic changes. The game's only been out for like barely a year, and it's already like they've already changed the game drastically like 3 times. I'm sure they'll find a better balance, but now it can be a little frustrating to play how much slower they made it. Nothing's really set in stone in that game. They do listen to feedback. They know a lot of the people in the Discord don't like the patch, so they'll figure something out. Try something really quick. Probably gonna go to bed soon. There's not much going on right now. Next thing that's interesting for me is Mass Builder update, which will be sometime on Saturday. It's the update on Saturdays. Go ahead and show that off really quick. It's like the next major thing I'm doing. So there's going to be new weapon parts, and then there's all this shit here. It's like this X Factor type thing. This update's basically making the melee combat not bad. Combat's not as fun as Gundam Breaker 3, but the frame rate also doesn't make me nauseous like that game does, so I'm more interested in this right now. They're adding guarding, which I'm kind of a little frustrated with because they don't let you just parry or anything. You have to equip a shield. I don't think it's like Gundam Breaker where you have a separate shield slot and you can always block. You have to always have the shield equipped, which reduces the amount of movesets you can use. So they added like a hard attack button, it seems, like a heavy attack button. They added a bunch of stuff for the melee combat. And combos don't look bad. They actually don't look much worse than Gundam Breaker. Gundam Breaker, the actual like change you can do are not that interesting. It's mostly like chaining together all the option equipment and stuff is where a lot of the death comes from. Have I tried Daemon X Machina? No, I'm not interested in that game. I heard that the frame rate was really bad on the Switch version, but then I looked at the melee combat. It's nothing like Gundam Breaker. You can't play the way you want. Seems like that game just kind of forces you into playing like just ranged, which is boring to me. I'm glad it got a PC port, but a lot of people have said it's not like one of the best mech customization games because you don't have as much freedom as Gundam Breaker. But Gundam Breaker also has the problem that the original Daemon X Machina Switch version had, and the frame rate is really bad. No, I'm glad that's not an issue anymore if you can game on PC, but it doesn't seem like my kind of game. Yeah, that's not interesting to me. The super realistic. I like super robots. Like Gundam Breaker kind of just makes everybody into a super robot. I heard you have like literally like one melee move in that game and that's it. It's not interesting to me. So they buffed a lot of the melee stuff. Fix frame rate loss bugs through better optimization. The game the performance does spike a lot currently. So yeah, that's the next major thing I'll be doing. I'll be paying this off in about 5 days. I don't think I'm gonna bother trying to get a review key. I should just buy the game while I have the money. I seriously doubt that they would give me one anyway. They would probably just leave me hanging. I don't really think it matters when I get the game anyway, because most people that are going to be watching content for this are going to watch the big anime channels who aren't as into the mechanics, they're more into the characters and the story and stuff. I don't really think it matters when I get it. If I make guides for it that they're not, the game will still perform well for me. I'm not really too concerned about getting a review key. I'm just going to pay for it. I get paid from YouTube in like 4 days, so and I can get it off CD Keys. It's like $63 for the all the DLC. They're charging $90 for it on here. On CD Keys, you can get it for like 60. I don't mind just coughing up the cash for it. A lot of times when you ask for review keys from like larger companies, they leave you hanging. Like they don't respond, or they wait until like the day that it comes out to tell you that you're not going to get a key. Capcom has done that to me twice now. I wish they would just say up front, like, look, you don't meet our criteria. I'd be totally okay with that. Like, I totally understand that I don't have a large channel, and they may want people with more numbers. That's fine if that's how they operate. But it frustrates me when they make you wait until like the literal day that the game comes out and then tell you. Like, it shouldn't take that long to like go through an evaluation of my channel and see if I'm is like to see if I'm eligible for a key or not. I don't believe it should take that long to tell. It shouldn't take weeks. Like, just tell me up front, like, you meet the criteria. We need to see if there's availability. I'm cool with that too. But like, don't wait until like the afternoon the day comes out and tell me like, oh, you can't get it. Like, that's fine, but you could have told me a while ago. What store do you work at? Do you run like a mom and pop store, or are you talking like a corporate chain like GameStop? Family-owned collectible store. Yeah, niche games are always a risk. I remember when Dynasty Warriors 7 came out, and I was living in Ventura County at the time. I was the only person that pre-ordered the game, and they only had the one copy. Like that was one instance where if I had not pre-ordered the game, I would not have been able to play it. They had a literal single copy. I can understand as a family-owned store, it's kind of getting like niche stuff or super weeb stuff can be very risky. GameStop left in 2014. Wow. Thing about mom and pop stores too is people always go in there expecting you to break the street date, which is not something that businesses that actually want to stay around do. It sucks that people won't go to a store like that because they won't break the street date, like actually following the rules. I got Fate Extella Link a couple days early because I was at my locally owned game store, and I was there for a fighting game tournament, and they just had it there. They just sold it to me. But obviously that's a super niche game, so there's like no real consequences for doing that kind of thing. The best is when people do it and then they post videos of it and they get banned. Like, what were you expecting to happen? Like, if you get something early, just play it. Don't tell anybody, and just take the advantage you have over people that have to buy it normally. Even when you buy something early, you're still not at a you're not at an advantage from people who have review keys anyway. Like Koei gives me the games 2 weeks early, so that's a lot of time to grind out the file and make the videos and stuff. So it's like somebody who gets it from a mom and pop store like a couple days early. You really don't have much of an advantage. And if you try to flex it around and put up videos, then chances are your stuff's gonna get deleted. There's like nothing coming out this month until One Piece. There's nothing in here interesting. Yeah, you can lose the license. Bleeding Edge, I was kind of interested in until I played the beta. The gameplay is just it doesn't compare it to Anarchy Reigns. They tried to make it into an Overwatch type thing, but the character designs are really ugly. I don't really think it's going to go far, and the combat wasn't great either. A lot of the combat was just get close to somebody and just mash the button. There was no like combo depth at all, which is kind of weird for like a melee focused multiplayer game. Like, why isn't the combat better? I hear that they added parries apparently, but I don't think that will fix the overlying problem. The combat is just not interesting. I mean, it was pretty fun getting hit by someone in Anarchy Range with a Bayonetta combo and getting like juggled across the map. It took skill to do that. Not so much when you just have to get close to them and just mash the button and you have no option for variety. Plus, they're charging for it too. That's really going to hurt it as well. I think if they had made it free to play, it probably will stand more of a chance. But they're charging $30 for it, which for that kind of game is like a death sentence in most cases. It's really hard to get people to buy those hero type games. Like, they pretty much have to be free to play, otherwise, nobody's going to take it seriously. Yeah, I don't really buy console games much. The only console I buy games for is the Switch, because with my part-time job, it actually benefits me to have portable games. But the problem with Switch games is you have to do a metric ass ton of research to make sure that it's not a garbage port. Like, there's a lot of games that it could run at 60 FPS, but it doesn't because they can't get people to port it well, or they don't hire the porting studios that charge more. And the eShop is just completely demolished. It just has too much crap on it. A lot of them are like mobile ports. Those are like the worst Switch tax games to me. Is the mobile ports that are like $1. They're like $1 to $3 on mobile, and they're charging like $20 for them on there. Like, basically just taking advantage of the fact that people will buy anything if you put it on sale for like 99% off. They don't do a good job curating their store. They make it too hard to find things. I'm willing to do the research. I'm willing to look through a sea of garbage to find a good game, a good indie game or something, but most people aren't. And that's kind of the issue. That was a ways off. I need to put out a review for this. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Maybe I'll work on this while I wait for Neo 2. But unfortunately, that game does not have saving, and the runs are like an hour long. That's kind of what I don't like about it so far. It's one of those roguelikes where you just have way too much attachment to the run, and it gets really frustrating when you die. Apparently, it's only like halfway finished, too. This run's going to be like 2 hours long, or what? I have no idea what direction they're going. It's a really beautiful looking game, though. It's just, I don't know how much I would play it when the runs are that freaking long. That's just excessive. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and crash. I don't really feel like playing anything else tonight. Tomorrow I don't have much planned, so I guess I'll probably play that game I just loaded up. Maybe something else. Yeah, the pixel art's really good. The gameplay is pretty good. It's just the runs are too long. I don't know. There's two kinds of people that play roguelikes. There's the ones that want like the really long runs that they can play for a really long time, and then there's the people like me that I can't put a lot of time into a roguelike unless the runs are short. When the runs start getting close to an hour long, that's like already pushing it to me. That's like borderline, and then anything past that is just it's just too much. The frustration just sets in too quickly when you know you're like 50 minutes in and you die, and there's no way to speed it up. There's no like player agency in that game at all. It's pretty much just one path that you can go. So it's not like other roguelikes where sometimes you'll find the exit like right away. It's completely static, which I think is what part of the problem is. Stuff like Wizard of Legend, that's one of my favorite roguelikes. One of the things that's cool about that game is you can find the exit right away, and there's like a very distinct strategy to it. If you find the exit right away, you can go through the game faster, but you run the risk of being underpowered for the end. But in that game I was just playing, there's nothing like that at all. It's just a straight line to the end. You don't have any kind of control over it. All right, well, I think I'm gonna crash. I don't know what I'm gonna do in the morning. I need to put out a video for that game, so maybe that'll be the next thing I do. Or maybe I'll do some more grinding on Zero 3. I will catch you guys probably in the morning. Dead Cells actually has pretty short runs, but you have to grind a lot to get to that point. That game is kind of in the middle. The runs can get quite long, but they're not like too long. Hades is already kind of in a good spot. You can finish that game. The runs are like 40 minutes long, which is a good length for a roguelike. But nobody knows what they're doing after because the character does not escape Hades. I hope they don't add like 10 more levels to it or something, because that will kill that game for me too. It's so hard to please people with roguelikes. You have the people that want 20-minute runs like me, and then you have the people that want 2-hour runs, and it's like almost impossible to please both groups of people. Enter the Gungeon is one I couldn't get into. So that game was just so damn slow, and it just felt like you never got anything good. You're like stuck with like the base pistol forever. It just wasn't interesting to me. I gave it a couple hours, and I just decided it wasn't for me. Seems like most people actually want shorter runs now, though. Like Wizard of Legend is a game that's very rarely over like 30, 40 minutes, and that game sold really well. Maybe I'll come back in a little bit if I can't sleep, but yeah, I think I'm gonna drink some water and chill out. Wizard of Legend had a good balance, yeah. It's very hard to find that balance, though. A lot of the recent roguelikes that have been coming out are like mega long, and that's just not interesting to me. Kind of the same problem I have with Battle for the Grid right now is the matches are longer, so you get more invested in it, and you get pissed off, and it's just kind of amplified by the fact that no one plays casual matches. I'll catch you guys later.